Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of AP Language Online. So what we had originally scheduled was to watch the film Arrival, and I sent out an email about watching that movie, and I asked if anybody had some technological or economic hardship that would make them unable to rent that movie, and I didn't hear back from anyone. That doesn't mean that it is too late. If you are unable to rent this movie for some reason, please let me know. I will give you an alternative assignment that will take the exact same amount of time, but will allow you to do something for free. Because for the rest of us, Arrival is going to cost at least $2.99 for you to watch. I looked up all the places that it was streaming. It's on YouTube for $2.99 and Google Play for $2.99, and then Amazon Prime has a $5.99 option, and then you can also buy it, of course. And if you have Hulu with a live TV app, I'm not really sure what the live TV stuff is on Hulu, but if you have that, then Arrival is free. But that's the only way I could find it for free that was legal. Anyway, so we are going to be watching Arrival for this module. And the movie is 2 hours long. And so the way that I am going to justify this, you normally have an hour and 20-minute class plus homework, right? And the homework could be up to 40 minutes. So what I'm going to have you do is, because so many of us are renting it and there is limits on how to break up your watch time with renting movies, right? I'm going to have you just watch the whole movie for this module. And then I want you to respond. I will have a little Arrival response set up, but it's going to be a very kind of simple way for me to see that you actually watched the movie. It will be an informal response. And so all you need to do is watch the movie and respond to that. And that will be due at midnight tonight. So it is Friday, March 20th. You need to watch this movie and submit the response by the end of the day. Okay, so I wanted to just introduce the movie to you a little bit. It is from 2016. It's directed by this guy named, I always say Denis Villeneuve, but he's French, and so it's probably Denis Villeneuve. But yeah, if I were a better teacher, I would have looked up online how to pronounce his name. Anyway, he is a fantastic director and is very known for his use of visual language. And one of the reasons that I choose to show Arrival for this class is because it is going to add to our understanding of our little language unit that we are doing. It has to do with all of those central questions that I have given you about how language evolves, if language should evolve, where language comes from, and how language affects the brain and the thoughts, and then how the thoughts and brain affect language. It is particularly concerned with that last question. You'll find it very interesting about that last question. So the movie is about those problems. It is about a linguist who is seeking the answers to those problems. At the same time, the movie also employs its own visual language that then will help us answer those questions. So, the movie as it's going along, the visual language of the film evolves. The way that the movie was set up in the beginning with the order of images kind of undergoes an evolution as the movie goes on, and the movie teaches us how to watch it. And then it also has a lot of questions in it through the visual language about how watching something can then affect our own brain and how our own brains then are shaping the viewing experience. This is a fantastic movie. I really love it. It's got to be one of my favorites from the last 20 years or so. It's just really brilliantly made. And one of the ideas I'm interested in this movie is called linguistic determinism. And we've talked a little bit about this with Orwell and Chomsky and so on, but basically that is the idea that the structure of your language determines the way you think about things. And not every structure of language works the same way, right? So in Hopi, Native American tribe, the Hopi tribe, the language that they speak, there is not the same sequence of events that there is in our own language. They don't divide things, and I don't speak Hopi, so I'm going on, what I've heard other people say, but they don't divide things in terms of like cause and effect and timelines, but instead they're thinking about repetition. And so the time is not like a noun for them. If they were to say something takes place at noon, noon is not a noun, it's like an event, it's an experience. So therefore that experience can happen over and over again in repetition, and that experience always exists in the mind. Like you can remember the experience and experience it again in your memory, right? In our own language, there's a very clear cause and effect to things. Something will happen at noon and then something will happen at 1, right? So it's not about experiencing noon as a time. It's about like kind of scheduling and ordering things. One thing affects the other. And this movie is very interested in how our language constructs are forcing or asking us, I'm not quite sure, I'm going to say forcing us to think in this kind of pattern, that without language that suggests cause and effect, we might not think in the same cause and effect pattern. Now, this is a science fiction movie. It has aliens in it. You're going to find that out in the first couple minutes. And so it's obviously not about, what could realistically happen, but it is more about ideas that could and actually have been explored in linguistic communities. So keep thinking about the ideas of language that surround our central questions as you watch the movie. Okay, I missed you guys. This is not as fun as being in class, so good luck out there. Bye.